Howdy, y'all. Alright, so yeah, as you were saying, I go to New Orleans every year. I've been doing this for 9 years now, 8 years? 2005, the year of the storm, but before the storm happened. How many people have been in New Orleans? Alright, good. More than I expected. How many more? Yes. And if you don't know already, today's Mardi Gras, so I figured it was appropriate to talk about it. Alright, so I'm going to specifically, I went in January, right after the storm. This was 2 months after they first started letting people in. Drove down to the 9th Ward, and they basically just taken bulldozers to move houses out of the way just enough so you could drive through. It was actually pretty tragic. It's probably one of the most prolific storms I can think of, and you really kind of appreciate everything you have when you see something like this. I imagine it was like going to Berlin in 1945. There was cars upside down underneath houses. They were still finding bodies when we were driving around there. So I kind of felt like after all that, you almost feel like you leave your soul when you visit that city. It's a beautiful city. It's full of art and music and culture and food. And it's a town of freaks. That's why I love it, because like squares are like not the normal. That's the weirdos down there. Everybody's weird. It's great. So each year, progressively, I've kind of just been going back in August. Has anybody been there in August? It's hot. It is super hot. It's like walking in a little swamp. Anyway, so each year, you know, it's been a struggle for the city to rebuild, and I've kind of got to witness, you know, the rebuilding of the city. Just love my little glimpse of it. Obviously, not as much as I like to live there. But it was the year specifically we went down. We drove all through the night. Left Indianapolis around 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. Stayed up all night and got into the lower 9th Ward at about 8 o'clock in the morning. So when the sun was just starting to rise, it was already about 90 degrees and 115% humidity. But we went into ground zero where the levee broke, which is. It was starting to make that transition. Brad Pitt's foundation, they already started to build new houses on Tennessee Street, but at the same time, it looked just as scarred as before. There were still empty houses. Walked into one house that looked like it had not been touched since the hurricane came, except for some of the occupants were these small little geckos that would climb all over. So we walked in. Everybody was starting to get prepared for it. They had a little ceremony and festivities. All the Mardi Gras Indians were out, and if you've ever haven't seen Mardi Gras Indians, it's amazing. I mean, it's been an entire year building these elaborate suits out of feathers and beads, and it's been a tradition in New Orleans for I think like 100 years now. It's always part of it has been the Black community and the Indian community kind of coming together for the struggles that they've had to go through. So they go out, they dance in their costumes, and shortly after that, it was followed by the second line. So if you've never seen the second line, that is also amazing. Everybody's out there dancing, and some amazing suits. This guy's not a dress. The second liners are coming out. Everybody's drinking booze, dancing. It's quite amazing. And then they took us up the Claiborne Bridge. And I'm scared to death of heights, and this bridge is about 200 feet in the air, and the floor of it is just a metal grid with like 1-inch poles all over. So I actually had to stop photographing at that point because I was having a horrible anxiety attack, just being that high. But you know, we were following them up. There's police officers and many people from the community. Side note: every year I go, I see the same people, and that always struck me as interesting, but cool. We get to the top of the bridge, they throw the reef off the bridge, right there by where the levee broke, and there's a lot of sobbing and hugging, and then everybody comes back down. And it's kind of hard to put into words what it feels like to just be there and experience that, but it was